The Controversial Life of Curtis LeMay, 10 Scandalous and Shocking Facts. Curtis LeMay was a highly influential and controversial figure in American military history, known for his aggressive and often ruthless tactics. As a four-star general in the United States Air Force, LeMay played a crucial role during World War II and the Cold War. While he is celebrated by some for his strategic brilliance, others criticize his uncompromising approach to warfare, which led to numerous ethical controversies. Here are 10 of the most scandalous, shocking, and intriguing facts about Curtis LeMay. Fact number 1. From humble beginnings. Curtis Emerson LeMay was born on November 15, 1906, in Columbus, Ohio, into a working-class family facing significant financial struggles. His father, Irving Edwin LeMay, worked in various low-paying factory jobs, unable to provide stability for the family. Arizona Dove LeMay, his mother, managed the household on a tight budget. Due to these financial hardships, Curtis began working at a young age, taking up odd jobs like delivering newspapers and selling fruits. Despite these challenges, LeMay showed remarkable determination, excelling in school and gaining admission to Ohio State University in 1924, where he studied civil engineering. At Ohio State, LeMay's passion for aviation took flight when he joined the ROTC and piloted his first airplane. It was also during his university years that he met Helen Maitland, who would become his steadfast wife in 1930. Helen supported him throughout his demanding career, raising their 3 children often alone due to LeMay's frequent deployments. Despite his love for his family, LeMay's obsession with military discipline often clashed with personal life. His rigid personality created a strict home environment that mirrored his professional life. Still, Helen remained a strong and supportive partner, weathering the storms of a military marriage. Number 2. Bomb them back to the Stone Age, the Vietnam controversy. Curtis LeMay's hardline approach to warfare earned him infamy during the Vietnam War with his controversial statement, "We're going to bomb them back into the Stone Age." This phrase, often attributed to LeMay, captured his aggressive military philosophy. He believed in the doctrine of overwhelming force to achieve swift victory and argued for intensifying the U.S. bombing campaign in North Vietnam to dismantle its war-making capabilities. LeMay, an ardent anti-communist, saw any compromise as a sign of weakness and proposed a relentless bombing strategy. LeMay's statement caused widespread outrage, especially among peace advocates who considered his approach excessively brutal. Even within the U.S. military and government, many found his views too extreme, fearing that his tactics would escalate the conflict to an uncontrollable scale. Although LeMay later claimed that his words had been taken out of context and misrepresented his actual views, the phrase cemented his reputation as a ruthless advocate for total war. As LeMay once reflected, "War is not pretty. It's not supposed to be," capturing his unapologetic stance on military strategy. Number 3. The Firebombing of Tokyo, a Deadly Decision. On March 9 to 10, 1945, under Curtis LeMay's command, the U.S. launched a firebombing raid on Tokyo, one of the deadliest air assaults in history. As head of the 21st Bomber Command, LeMay made a strategic decision to use incendiary bombs designed to create massive firestorms in Japan's densely populated wooden cities. The resulting inferno in Tokyo killed an estimated 100,000 civilians, destroyed over 16 square miles of the city, and left millions homeless. The attack's intensity surpassed even the later atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in terms of immediate civilian casualties. LeMay defended the strategy, arguing that it was necessary to break Japan's will to fight. He believed conventional bombings were inadequate and that such tactics would save more lives in the long run by hastening the war's end. Critics, however, labeled the attack a war crime due to the indiscriminate killing of civilians. LeMay himself acknowledged the moral quandary, saying, "If we'd lost the war, I'd have been tried as a war criminal." This candid admission epitomizes the stark, cold pragmatism that characterized LeMay's approach to warfare. Number 4. Cold War hawks, LeMay's push for nuclear readiness. During the Cold War, Curtis LeMay became a leading advocate for nuclear readiness. As head of the Strategic Air Command, SAC, he was responsible for maintaining America's nuclear arsenal and was known for his relentless pursuit of nuclear superiority over the Soviet Union. LeMay's infamous Chrome Dome mission kept nuclear-armed bombers airborne 24/7, ready to strike at a moment's notice. His aggressive stance raised concerns about the risk of accidental nuclear war, prompting President John F. Kennedy to reportedly say that LeMay had a mad dog mentality when it came to nuclear warfare. LeMay's unyielding commitment to nuclear preparedness made him a controversial figure in Cold War politics. Number 5. Run for Vice President, the Wallace-LeMay ticket. In 1968, LeMay made an unexpected entry into politics when he joined former Alabama Governor George Wallace's presidential campaign as the vice presidential candidate. The Wallace-LeMay ticket was controversial due to Wallace's pro-segregationist stance and LeMay's outspoken advocacy for the use of nuclear weapons in Vietnam. Many saw LeMay's candidacy as an endorsement of Wallace's divisive policies, further tainting his public image. His blunt and often provocative remarks on the campaign trail, including his suggestion that nuclear weapons could be used to end the Vietnam War, alarmed many voters and led to criticism from across the political spectrum. Number 6. The Bay of Pigs fallout, clashing with Kennedy. LeMay's contentious relationship with President John F. Kennedy reached a boiling point after the failed Bay of Pigs invasion in April 1961. As a staunch advocate for a more aggressive military approach, LeMay harshly criticized Kennedy's cautious handling of the invasion, which aimed to overthrow Fidel Castro's regime in Cuba. LeMay believed that a full-scale military assault was necessary for success and was vocal about his displeasure with the administration's lack of commitment to the operation. In a tense meeting with Kennedy, LeMay reportedly clashed with the president, bluntly expressing his frustration and dissatisfaction. Kennedy, aware of LeMay's hawkish inclinations, often viewed him with suspicion, particularly in light of the general's outspoken criticism. The clash highlighted the growing tensions between the White House and military leadership during a critical period of the Cold War, with LeMay representing a faction that favored more direct and aggressive action against communist expansion. Number 7. A plan to invade Cuba, the Cuban Missile Crisis. During the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962, LeMay was one of the strongest proponents of an immediate military strike against Cuba. He advocated for a full-scale invasion and even suggested a nuclear option, believing that the U.S. needed to show strength against the Soviet Union. LeMay clashed with civilian leadership, including President Kennedy, who opted for a naval blockade and diplomatic negotiations. His hawkish stance and aggressive posture were seen as dangerous brinkmanship that could have escalated into a full-blown nuclear war. LeMay's approach during this crisis remains one of the most debated aspects of his military career. Number 8. The SAC era, brutal training and high standards. LeMay's tenure as head of the Strategic Air Command, SAC, from 1948 to 1957 was marked by a culture of intense discipline and rigorous training. He implemented a relentless schedule of readiness drills, including simulated nuclear strikes, which were criticized for their severity. SAC airmen often joked that LeMay was more dangerous than the Soviets, reflecting his uncompromising demand for perfection. His methods were controversial, with some arguing that they created a high-stress environment that bordered on psychological torture. However, LeMay's leadership turned SAC into the backbone of America's nuclear deterrent during the Cold War. Number 9. Interest in car racing. Few people know that Curtis LeMay had a passion for car racing. In the 1950s, he was so fascinated by car racing that he helped establish a U.S. Air Force racing team. LeMay believed that supporting such sporting events would boost the morale of Air Force pilots and create a positive image for the Air Force. He actively participated in races and even proposed holding them on the runways of air bases. Some considered this an inappropriate and even dangerous hobby for a high-ranking military officer, but LeMay saw it as an important part of building team spirit. Number 10. The Mad Bomber Legacy, a divisive figure in history. LeMay's reputation as the Mad Bomber was solidified by his uncompromising stance on military strategy and his unapologetic advocacy for aggressive tactics. While some consider him a hero who played a crucial role in securing American military dominance during the Cold War, others view him as a dangerous figure whose methods crossed ethical boundaries. LeMay's legacy is a complex one, shaped by his ironclad belief in American military supremacy and his willingness to go to any lengths to achieve it. As he himself once said, "I have no apologies, no regrets. We did what we had to do."